create a cleaner energy future for Michigan. By 2040, solar energy will provide most of the electricity we deliver to our customers. That's good for the planet and your pocketbook. But we can't get there without your help. We're searching for large parcels of land in Michigan to build solar power plants. If you have a site for us to consider, visit consumersenergy.com/misolar to learn more.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you more of what you love, like premium travel benefits and access to Taylor Swift tickets. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. Plus, get access to Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, presented by Capital One. Maybe I'll see you there. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 31 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. The city of Saginaw has finished receiving applications for furnace improvements as part of the American Rescue Plan Act home rehab program. Here's WSGW's Jonathan Dent.
Around 430 applications were submitted between December 3rd and 10th to receive new furnaces this winter. City Manager Tim Morales says that the next step is a review by city staff.
I'm sure they've already started the process since Saturday was the last day for submitting applications, but they're going to be reviewing them for need and income requirements.
Morales says that once that review process is done, the city will send inspectors to applicants' homes and prioritize installations based on need. The city is also looking into partnerships with other organizations and companies, including Consumers Energy. Furnaces are only the first phase of the $3.8 million home rehab program. Once it's complete, the city will begin the same process for roofs and later intends to do window repair and replacement. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time 9:06. There's a new sheriff in town in Shiawassee County. The former sheriff, Brian Begole, was recently elected to the state house, leaving the sheriff's position vacant. Sergeant Doug Chapman with the Shiawassee County Sheriff's Department has been appointed by a committee to take on that role. Chapman will serve as sheriff until 2024, when he'll need to run for election to the office if he wishes to remain in the position. He officially starts January 1st. Nurses and supportive community members will be holding an informational picket tomorrow in Alma to call on My Michigan executives to negotiate a fair contract and to stop engaging in anti-union behavior. The Michigan Nurses Association made the announcement saying the 2-hour picket will start at around 4:30 in the afternoon outside of My Michigan Alma Hospital. The picket is not a work stoppage, according to the group. Instead, anyone participating will attend outside of regular work hours, and patient care nor traffic will be disrupted. WSGW News Time 9:07.
We could all use a little more sweetness in our lives. Edible is your local stop for sweet treats and special gifts for any occasion, from spectacular chocolate-dipped fruit bouquets to refreshing smoothies and creamy cheesecakes. Edible makes it easy to treat yourself and others to something sweet. Find a store near you at edible.com and pick up a Fruit Fix box of chocolate-dipped apples, bananas, and strawberries for only $9.99. Be sweet today with a sweet from Edible Arrangements on Tittabawassee in Saginaw.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. If you're fixing for one of those meals where you need to wear a trash bag to eat it, then the Lumberjack Restaurant has the answers to your cravings. Try the Big Axe Burger. Double ground beef patty, bacon, mushrooms, onions, cheese, with a big old pile of pot roast and barbecue sauce on top that'll make you go, ooh, wait! So get your axe up to the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch. Exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. The weather forecast is next. A Bloomfield Hills woman who admitted to stealing more than $70,000 from a veteran won't spend any time in jail. The Attorney General's office says 62-year-old Margaret Risden pleaded guilty to embezzlement after investigators determined she wrote checks from the victim's bank account to herself and her business and also used an ATM card to get cash. The victim was disabled and resided in nursing homes and hospitals at the time. Risden was sentenced Tuesday to 3 years probation, 100 hours of community service, and ordered to work at a part-time job. A new study underscores the impact of drugs and alcohol when it comes to serious crashes. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert.
56% of people involved in crashes that cause fatalities or serious injuries had some sort of substance in their system. That from a study done by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration on emergency room patients.
Cannabinoids and alcohol were the most prevalent drugs found, followed by stimulants and opioids. Nearly 20% of the drivers tested had blood alcohol levels of 0.8 or more.
Acting Administrator Ann Carlson says about 20% had both cannabis and alcohol in their blood. This comes as a holiday enforcement campaign gets underway today. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
State police called to an I-94 in Van Buren Township last night after drivers reported there was an object that had been struck, causing a crash in the westbound lanes near Haggerty. When troopers showed up, they discovered the unknown object was the body of a woman. State police officials say the victim had been hit multiple times. She has not yet been identified. The investigation is ongoing. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 910. I'm Mike Perchuk.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Cloudy for today. Highs top out near 37 degrees. Winds easterly 5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight it remains cloudy. Chance for snow developing. Rain could mix in at times. Temperatures hold steady in the middle to upper 30s. East winds will be breezy 10 to 20. Higher gusts remain possible. Thursday, rain likely before noon. Highs make it into the lower 40s. Breezy winds turn to the south 10 to 20. Higher gusts remain possible. Thursday night, mostly cloudy. Lows drop to 31. Then highs reach 37 on Friday. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 30.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. Midweek, Wednesday morning, day before our big Rescue Ministries Radiothon tomorrow. Looking forward to that as we do every year. In the meantime, this morning, open phones this hour. Next hour, we will begin talking to Jeanette Contraras. She is the project director of Health Equity Campaigns for Unidas US, and the subject will be healthcare in the Latino community. And we'll have more open phones. At 11 a.m., Liz Conway, President and CEO of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce, will come a-calling. So that's what's ahead this morning on the Art Lewis Show. But for now, as I said, open phones, 989-752-6111. A couple of headlines back-to-back caught my attention and have to do with Donald Trump. First headline, McConnell steps up tax on a weakened Trump. McConnell steps up a tax on a weakened Trump. And the second one, two new polls reveal Trump's growing DeSantis problem. And if you look at the polls, there are two sections of it, and they about mirror each other. The first section was asking whether or not Trump should run. And that poll was almost 2-1 against. This was a USA Today Suffolk University poll published Tuesday. 61% of Republicans and Republican-leaning voters want someone else to be the party's nominee for 2024. And that same poll showed that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was preferred over Donald Trump by a margin of 56 to 33%. So they just about mirror each other. And there have been a couple of other polls that have showed the same thing. Not good news for Donald Trump, the only announced candidate at this point. DeSantis, of course, has not announced. And then Mitch McConnell, the minority leader of the Senate, leader of the Republicans in the Senate, has blamed Donald Trump for the party's failure to recapture the Senate in 2022. And he said this a number of times now over the past few weeks. And he blames the quality of the candidates backed by Trump for these defeats. Couple that with all of the negative news piling up on the Trump organization and Donald Trump with the investigations and everything else going on. Is it realistic to think that Donald Trump will actually be the candidate of the Republican Party? And just to balance this discussion out, is it realistic to think that Joe Biden, who's having some problems within his own party, will be the standard bearer in 2024 for the Democratic Party? I have said for quite some time now that I didn't think either of them would be the candidate. Now, that's just a gut reaction on my part. It's not based on any inner knowledge or anything like that. It's just given all of the news and things that I'm reading and seeing about the two candidates, I suspect that neither of them may be on the ballot. Now, will they be in the primary? Yeah, I don't see Trump folding unless he's forced to because of criminal charges or something of that nature. So I expect he'll be fighting in the primary. But I don't believe he'll win this time. And that may also be true of Joe Biden. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of dissension within the party about him. Not to the degree of Donald Trump, but there certainly have been voices opposed. And if he runs in a primary, if he is challenged in a primary, I wonder about his survivability. So, they're just random thoughts. They're not based on anything. I have no knowledge that one or the other will or won't run. I'm just looking at it as an observer saying, well, okay, what's the reality? What's the probability? So I just thought I'd throw that out there. And let's head to the phones this morning. Mark is in Gladwin. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hey, the FTX gentleman was,
yeah.
They call him, I'm seek to understand, his last name is, I pronounce it as Fried, but they call him Freed.
Yeah, I think he pronounces it Freed.
Okay, because I was going to say, man, I mispronounced KFC all my life.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, yeah. None of those chickens are free. No, I think he does pronounce it Freed.
Okay. Hey, so he was arrested in the Bahamas, and he donated. It's coming out some to a couple million to the Republican Party and quite a bit more to the Democrats.
More to the Democrats. Yeah, he covered his bases.
Right. So my question is, that's overseas money. That's interfering in an election, is it not? If it's not in the United States, because he was in the Bahamas living.
Well, but is he an American citizen?
I don't know if he is or not, to be honest with you.
I don't either. If he is, I don't think it would be considered overseas money. Doesn't come from, if he's not, and I don't know the answer. It's a rhetorical question. I don't know the answer to it. If he's not an American citizen, then I may say, yeah. But either way, it was ill-gotten money because what he was doing was stealing from all the people that were investing in FTX.
Exactly. So he was getting ready to announce yesterday as far as the prosecutor had an open forum for him, and he could have just laid it all out on how everything worked. But they cut him off. My concern is the people that were given the money, do they not have from the investors an X on them to go after them? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but it's his obligation, not theirs. If they were given the money in what they thought was good faith. Now, you're not going to get it back politically unless the political parties decide to return it, which has been done in the past. If they have money that they realize they shouldn't have gotten, sometimes the parties give it back. But I don't know where all the money went. They're missing about $8 billion from what I've read. So till they find that money, who knows who to go after? I mean, he's spending on a lot of luxury things and other stuff. So who knows? You never know what's going to happen, but I don't expect to see this guy seeing the light of day very much in the future.
Well, a couple of those cryptocurrencies that are in their 30s have passed away or suddenly died.
I don't know.
See him as a. Go ahead.
I know nothing about cryptocurrencies. What I know about cryptocurrencies could fill the head of a pin. I know zip. So I don't even know who the players are. I knew the name FTX only because they're all over baseball umpire uniforms and they were everywhere. But I didn't know what they did. To tell you the truth, I had to look them up. I had no idea what they did.
Yeah,
and I still don't. So, all right, good enough.
Alrighty, sir.
Thanks. Bye now.
Bye.
And let's say hi to Chris in Saginaw. Chris, good morning to you.
Morning, Art. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Say on the border, Art.
Yes.
Obviously, we have a huge issue. I just don't understand and why they can't do. We really need people, But if they organized it properly,
well,
it would be.
Here's the thing, Chris. By law, it is organized properly. We have immigration laws for people that come into this country and contribute to this country, and they do it legally. And we retain them in this country because they are valuable assets.
Right.
But you don't just open your border up as a sieve and say, come on in, we need workers. If you don't have a border, you don't have a country.
You're exactly right. Now, I remember, I go way back, but my dad was from Greece, and he had a couple of nephews he wanted to bring over here. And I'm talking back in the 60s, okay? And he would go to Congressman Harvey, who was our congressman at the time, and he had to give him an affidavit that for his nephew to come over, that he would make sure he had a job, a place to live, would not be on government money, and boom, he'd come over. I'm talking, the whole thing lasted maybe 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was never an issue. So for some unknown reason, I think our representatives in the government, they're happy to have the immigration people do it because it keeps it off people getting a hold of them. Okay.
Well, Congress and the presidents, with the exception of maybe Trump, have kicked the issue down the road. Nobody's dealt with it. Consequently, it leads to where we are today.
Right. I mean, it's a problem.
But the legal immigration system, going through the legal channels, we're not talking about asking for political asylum. We're talking about people that want to immigrate to the United States. Has been there for a long, long time, and it's used regularly. It has not been easy, but should it be? I mean, there should be standards and requirements. And then, you're admitted to the country when you meet those standards and requirements. The notion that you just simply come because you can doesn't bode well for the future, because they're going to get overrun. We're already being overrun. I mean, it's not against those people. I understand their plight.
No, me too.
But you still have to have some integrity to your border.
It can't be helter-skelter, and that's what it is. Okay.
Exactly.
It's a shame. It really is, because I understand the plight of those. Hell, my dad came from the old country, okay? Illegally, okay? So, but we really do need people. But we have to organize it. Our young people today, we don't have a good work ethic, I'm afraid, but we're short of people all over the place.
Yeah.
And these people are going to work. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Maybe I call our congressman and he'll pat me on the head, tell me to go leave. Okay. Anyway, now that I have vented with you,
good.
You have a nice day. Okay.
Thanks, Chris. Bye-bye now.
Yeah. Right.
And that opens the lines for you. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll free 866-790-WSGW.
Santa's sleigh is filled with cash, and it's up on the rooftop at Saginaw Eagles Landing. On Saturday, December 3rd, 10th, and 17th, you can win up to $5,000 at drawings from 5 to 10 p.m. each week. So put a little jingle and a lot of cash in your holiday season. Don't miss Up on the Rooftop, Saturdays through December 17th, only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Make the season even brighter with beautiful jewelry from JTV. Shop JTV.com and get $25 off your purchase of $50 or more when you use code RADIO25. You'll discover more than 40,000 jewelry designs and gifts. That's enough to keep everyone on your list sparkling all season long. Plus, new customers will receive $40 in brilliant cash to use toward their next jewelry purchase. Shop JTV.com and use code RADIO25 and fill your holiday with sparkle.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Import prices for November. The prices Americans are paying for things from other countries saw a decline last month. Import prices dropped 0.6% in November. And for the year ending in November, import prices rose 2.7%. That's an improvement from the previous month, which saw a 4.1% increase. The Federal Reserve wraps up its meeting today and is expected to raise interest rates by 0.5%, while also offering an update on the economy. Verizon wants you to sign up for its Plus Play program and order a streaming service on the platform. Verizon is partnering with Netflix and will offer some customers free Netflix Premium for a year if they sign up for a streaming service on Plus Play. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Testosterone levels are at an all-time low. Individual T levels decline 1% every year. Chalk, CHOQ, is the new champion of natural testosterone boosters. Chalk's main ingredient is clinically studied to naturally boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity and boost your daily energy with Chalk's Male Vitality Stack. For a limited time, our listeners will get 30% off at CHOQ.com with promo code USA. CHOQ.com, code USA.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Here's to Prilosec OTC. Without Prilosec, I wouldn't be able to enjoy all this yummy holiday food. Speaking of, whoever made that apple pie, delicious. Thank you. I just take one pill each morning and zero heartburn all day. So cheers to Prilosec OTC. Ooh, are those jalapeno poppers?
Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid that can cause heartburn, so you can enjoy the holidays. One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
The Saginaw Spirits play here.
Minchikov falling, shooting another rebound. Liam Storch has his first OHL goal. Gets Saginaw on the board here in North Bay.
After a long road trip, the Saginaw Spirit return home this Wednesday night to take on the Flint Firebirds in another installment of the I-75 Rivalry Series. Tune in for coverage Wednesday night at 6:50 on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. Great seats are still available. Visit SaginawSpirit.com for ticket info.
It's Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
All right, we're back here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios instead of my Saginaw Spirit home studio. I'll be back there on Friday. Tomorrow, we have our radiothon for the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, and we will devote all of our programming in the morning to that, and should be a good one because it's an organization that has earned the trust and respect of the people of the region. Tell you more about that tomorrow, of course. Lines open for you right now, 989-752-6111. You are familiar, I hope, with the Michigan Redistricting Commission, which we all put in place by our vote. And they redrew the district lines, which some were happy with, some weren't happy with, which is probably enough to say they did it right. I don't know. There are, however, a couple of lawsuits hanging out there claiming that the commission violated the Constitution in federal law, actually, not the state law, but federal law, in the way the redistricting was done. And these lawsuits cost money to defend. Well, in the new budget, the state budget, which was passed and signed by the governor, the Michigan House of Representatives and the Michigan Senate failed to fund the group any further as it faces litigation challenges. Now, the commission was not included in the budget, nor was there any supplemental bill for it. Under the budget put forth by the Republican legislature. And the commission still meets because they have to meet to answer the litigations in court. So they are continuing to operate even though the redistricting was done. And they have to meet because they are required to meet. They cannot end before any judicial review of the redistricting plan is complete. So they are still constituted until that judicial plan is done. But again, they did not receive funding for the next fiscal year. So they have sued both the House and the Senate to reinstate $3.1 million in funding. And I mean, from where I sit, that almost they've sued in the Court of Claims, which is where you go if you want to sue the state. And from where I sit, they probably could have waited 3 weeks when the new legislature takes effect, and I would imagine they would get their money. But they chose not to. So they are suing for $3.1 million. There are, I think, two legal actions against them. One has to do with the size of the districts, and another had to do with the legislative maps violating federal voting rights requirements. We'll have to wait and see how the court rules on those. But at this moment, anyway, they are in front of the Court of Claims. And they are without funds. So how do they pay their lawyers? Which is what they're arguing. So we'll see what happens with that. I suspect, and again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on the radio. This is only just an observer's view of things. I suspect the Court of Claims may order they be funded. That's a guess on my part. Also, in the courts, Michigan's minimum wage law. A Court of Appeals panel in Detroit, it's now in front of them. They are looking at the July court ruling that would allow Michigan's Michigan's minimum wage would rise to 13.03 an hour, and the tipped minimum wage to $11.73 an hour starting in mid-February. And the issue is whether the legislature had the constitutional authority to adopt the law and then amend the law in the same legislative session. This has been a longstanding practice. If you don't know how this works, we, the people, start a petition drive. All right, we say, we want the minimum wage to be such and such, and we get it on the ballot. We have the language approved. It goes to the ballot, and we get to vote on it. But at some point in time, the legislature comes forward and, in effect, passes the law before the ballot proposal takes effect. What they did here was that's exactly what they did. They passed the law, and then they went back and amended the law, changed what we, the people, were voting on. Whether you voted for it or not didn't make any difference. That's not part of the equation here. What the equation is that they went back and changed what the people were asking for. And it went before the Court of Claims, and the Court of Claims previously ruled that the legislature acted unconstitutionally in 2018 when it adopted the legislation. This was in the Detroit Free Press. And the problem was they acted in 2018 to adopt the legislation, but then in the same session amended the legislation. Now, if it had been in a separate section, I don't know how the court would feel about that. That's interesting. One of the appeals court judges, Christopher Murray, asked the lawyers, was the legislature pulling a fast one to avoid having the minimum wage petition and a sick time petition on the ballot go forward? It's going to be interesting to watch, to see how it plays out. It's not, we can sit here and we can talk about it philosophically till the birds come home to roost, but the reality is it's all tied up in legalese. That's why we have these courts. They don't look at it superficially. They look at the nitty-gritty. They get down to the minutia and the legal law, and that's what they rule on. And sometimes those rulings don't make sense to us on a superficial level. But within the law is the law, and that's what it says, and that's what you do. All right. A 401k can be an important asset for many American retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years, even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs, but its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topic should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
December is BX Day's subcompact sales event at Lingle Equipment. Hi, this is Kim Weiss, and all our BX 1880s, 2380s, 2680s, and the BX 23 TLB tractor loader backhoe are on sale at Lingle Equipment in December. We have loaders, mowers, and snow blowers. Also have many land pride attachments like tillers, rear blades, and grading scrapers. We have the attachment to get the job done right the first time. We have 0% interest for 60 months on approved credit. So stop in now at Lingle Equipment, 3001 West Sawyer Drive in Saginaw. That is right along I-75 off the Washington Road exit. Or give me a call at 989-754-7801. Get a pen and I will say it again, 989-754-7801. Or send me an email at k.weiss@lingle1.com.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Dr. Travis Stork here to ttell you about a great pain reliever called Salon Pass Pain Relieving Patches. Salonpas is pain medicine in a patch. You stick it right on sore muscles for up to 8 hours. Clinical research has shown that people that used Salonpas reported less pain with improvement in mood, sleep, and the ability to work. Safe, effective relief is one peel and place away. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
And we are back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Lines open for you. I want to talk a little baseball for a minute, not the playing side of it, winners, losers, all that. I want to talk about money. There's a headline. This was in USA Today. Carlos Correa, San Francisco Giants, agrees to a 13-year, $350 million deal. It's a record for a shortstop. It is not, however, the record. Aaron Judge of the Yankees just signed one for, I want to think it was $386 million, something like that. And that was a 9-year deal. It was a $360 million 9-year deal with the Yankees. So on a per year basis, Judge is making a lot more than Correa will. Correa will make about $27 million a year. Judge is like $35 million a year, something like that. I cannot understand how these folks are worth that much money. I don't care how good you are. And I know, I mean, I'm smart enough to know the answer. I know where the teams get the money from. They get it from their media contracts and television and all kinds of sponsorships, and of course, the exorbitant ticket prices you pay to go see a game. But what is the limit? Many, many years ago, and I've mentioned this before on the air, there was a great sportscaster around here, Art Neal. A lot of people still remember Art. He had a great style, personality. He was unique. And he sat right here in this studio with me many, many years ago when we were talking about $1 million rather than $350 million. And he said, look, you get what you can negotiate. You're worth whatever you can get. Well, strictly speaking, he's absolutely right. Whatever you want to negotiate for, if somebody's willing to give it, there's a giver and a taker. But is there no realistic limit? And the thing that has always gotten me, and this, of course, is not true of all athletes because, you can't paint everyone with the big brush. But look at how many of these high-paid superstars we put up on huge pedestals only to watch them fall off. Somehow I think we like to see that happen. I don't know. But it happens time and time again. And the other thing that happens is these players get these big, huge contracts, and all of a sudden their productivity isn't what it used to be. Are they living up to that huge amount of money they've been promised? Now, I understand the team's desire to have Correa. San Francisco lost a while back one of their players that could fill seats when he retired. And so I understand that the Giants want to fill that void. Buster Posey was the 107-win season in 2021. And they went after Aaron Judge. They pursued Judge heavily before he signed with the Yankees. They were looking to fill that hole so they'd have people in the seats. But how often do these teams spend huge amounts of money only to be disappointed later on in what they get for their money. I mean, it's happened to all teams, many teams, not all. Some live within a small budget. But, the Tigers are an example. They've done it before. And did they get their money's worth? Well, in a way, yes, like with Miggy, with the Miguel Cabrera, of course, he puts people in the seats. And people watch when he's up at bat. So from a television media standpoint and their payment from that and ticket sales, yeah, they probably got their money with Mickey. But how many times does it not happen? I don't understand it. Maybe somebody who's smarter than I am can tell me why somebody's worth $360 million playing a game. Let me take a moment to talk about Thelen Volkswagen in Bay City because I'm driving a new Volkswagen this month. It's an Ascent. No, I'm sorry. It's a Subaru. I'm not in Volkswagen. I'm in a Subaru this month. I'm in a Subaru Ascent. That's their 8 Passion? Oh, I'm passionate about it. It's their 8-passenger vehicle, the full-size Ascent. And boy, is this a joy to drive. Now, this particular Subaru is loaded. It's the Touring model, which is the top of the line. And something else is going on right now, aside from Subaru having some fabulous automobiles. It is the Share the Love campaign from Subaru. During the Share the Love campaign, Subaru will donate $300 for every new Subaru sold to one of 4 national charities or Thelen's local charity, which is the Good Samaritan Rescue Mission in Bay City. You can get the Subaru of your dreams and help this local charity at the same time. Last year, they received thousands. One Subaru you might choose is the 8-passenger Subaru Ascent, like I'm driving. And it comes with enhanced eyesight driver assist technology standard in the Ascent. Stop into Thelen Subaru, test drive a Subaru Ascent, talk to a Thelen representative to see how easy it is to obtain your own Subaru. Thelen Subaru, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Online, thinkthelen.com. Share the love today with your new Subaru. Thelen, serving your automotive needs for over 45 years.
Thinking about some new outdoor furniture for this coming spring? Now is the time to buy and save during our annual end-of-the-year floor model sale now through December 23rd at Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center in Midland. Right now, you can save 20% on select Pollywood and Alfresco Home floor model display sets in our store. New floor models are coming in soon, and we need to make some room. Choose from both dining and deep seating sets in many styles. Buy any Adirondack chair and get a free side table to go with it. Free winter storage and delivery on any item purchased during this sale until April 1st. Hurry in for best selection as sale ends December 22nd. Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, located 1.5 miles north of the Midland Mall on Eastman Road next to DW Auto in Midland. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon. Visit us on the web at www.maplehillmidland.com or like us on Facebook.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, Prostastream, Prostagenics, and others, want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com, prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible end-of-the-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building at end of the year savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
You have the chance to win your mortgage or rent paid for in 2023 up to $18,000. It's the WSGW Home for the Holidays contest presented by Dow Credit Union. Enter online at WSGW.com. Look for the Home for the Holidays box. You can enter once per day with bonus entries too. Entry deadline December 21st. Home for the Holidays presented by Dow Credit Union. Enter online, WSGW.com.
All right, we are back with you, and we'll go back to our phones. Carol is in Sheridan. Good morning, Carol.
Hi, I got a couple things. One, yesterday, the disrespect those guys had for the professor. I thought that was not very nice.
Yeah.
It kind of proves that, that wasn't very nice. They might have had an agenda with him or something, but still, it was kind of a turnoff. I have a little clock radio that I dearly love. A lady gave it to me in 1968. It's very simple. You just flip it over, and the alarm will ring. It's got really, really scratchy. Is it a boat anchor? You think I can take that apart and put a little grease on it? I love that, and it was so simple. I get this crap. It's got 20 settings on it. It don't work. Is there any hope for this little guy? You're good with your fingers.
I don't know. I'd have to see it and see what's happening. When you say it's scratchy, you're getting noise?
Yeah. Even when the alarm isn't on or the radio isn't on or anything, I am pushing because I'm scared of fire.
Yeah. So it's making noise other times.
Yeah, and the clock still. I've had it since 1968.
Yeah. I might tell you something. Of course, back then they made them to last.
Well, it has, and I love the little thing. When I went to bed, I just flipped it over and it come on. And
well, what you might think about, I hate to say this, maybe it served you well, so maybe you turn it off and put it on a shelf, and take care of it for the rest of its life without using it, and get yourself a new radio.
But you can't find anything like that. They don't make.
No, they don't make any. Well, you got to look around. There are all kinds out there. You just have to find them, and sometimes it's difficult.
Or online, have somebody go online.
Yeah, that might be the best way. Well, I'd check the stores first locally and see what you can find. If not, then have somebody go online, and there's a number of places everywhere from Amazon to Sharper Image and places like that have unique things, and you may find something similar.
Well, it's just a little Philco radio, but it was so nice.
I know, I hear you. I'm sorry.
Well,
My condolences.
I kind of looked around before, and it's all this
keep
stuff,
looking.
and it's got 6 alarms on it,
Uh-huh.
and I don't need 6 alarms.
All right. Well, I got to run, Carol. I'm out of time here, but you hunt around. You'll be able to find something like it.
Okay, but it's toast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AA Wealth Management, LLC.
I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The bad taste left in my mouth by Scrooge O'Reilly.
I heard that.
Bill O'Reilly's commentary this morning was basically saying, it's Christmas and it's too early. Bah humbug.
Turn off those Christmas movies and turn off that Christmas music until after the 15th.
Cold in the stocking for Bill O'Reilly, man.
Man.
Sometimes Christmas can seem a little shoved or early, but
early, especially when you hear some music on November the 1st. When he was talking about movies, I have to agree with him on this one that my favorite Christmas Carol movie is the one with Alistair Sim. But he said that's the best Christmas movie, and it's not. We all know that it is It's a Wonderful Life, followed closely by Die Hard. I'm just
I was
saying.
thinking the Muppets. I love the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Wouldn't that be an interesting double feature with Pat and Denise?
Sure.
Watch Die Hard and the Muppets Christmas.
Too bad Bruce Willis and the Muppets never got together.
Oh my gosh, that would have been great. The Muppets Die Hard Christmas Carol.
Your morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We're going to be chatting with Jeanette Contraras, Project Director of Health Equity Campaign Unidos US on healthcare in the Latino community. That's coming up at the top of the next hour, and then time permitting, we'll have some more open phones, all after the news, which is next.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates again today, despite hopeful signs inflation is slowing down. Analysts expect an increase of 0.5 percentage point. Bankrate's Greg McBride says it'll only make it tougher for consumers.
It's like pedaling into a progressively stiffer headwind, more and more being chewed up by interest. So to pay down the balance, you just have to pedal that much harder.
The price of gas, used cars, and utility bills have all fallen. There is devastation in parts of the South, slammed by rare December tornadoes. A mother and her young son were killed in Caddo Parish, Louisiana. Sheriff Steve Prater says their home wasn't the only one demolished.
The few houses that are in there, totally destroyed, gone. Just have to look for bits and pieces out in the woods of even the houses.
It's 10 years to the day a gunman shot up Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, killing 20 children and 6 educators. Among the students, Nicole Hockley's 6-year-old son.
I started talking about change at Dylan's memorial service. I didn't know what the change would be, but that something would come from this. This wouldn't just be a senseless tragedy.
I'm Stephen Portnoy. President Biden, in a statement, says the country should carry societal guilt for letting a decade go by without the passage of laws that he says would prevent a Sandy Hook massacre from happening again. The president reiterated his call for a ban on the sale of semi-automatic rifles, but that hasn't moved in the Democratic-controlled Congress, and it'll be a heavier lift once Republicans take control of the House next month.
4 people are confirmed dead after a small boat filled with migrants capsized off southern England.
Breathing, yeah, breathing, walking.
Rescuers pulled 30 people out of the freezing waters of the English Channel. Another 13 were rescued off the sinking boat. British Interior Minister Suella Braverman calling the tragedy
the most sobering reminder possible of why we have to end these crossings.
But British and French authorities have made little headway in catching the gangs who profit from this trafficking. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Even a billionaire can apparently have trouble paying the rent. The New York Times reports Elon Musk's Twitter has skipped rent payments on its San Francisco headquarters and other global locations for 3 weeks and put office supplies up for auction. 25 more movies entering the National Film Registry.
I'll have what she's having.
When Harry Met Sally, Iron Man, Hairspray, and the story of a Little Mermaid all make the cut.
Under the sea.
Dow's up 145. This is CBS News.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance yours, Rocket Mortgage can help you get there. For home loan solutions that fit your life, Rocket can.
Hi, this is Doug Williams with Dick Williams Gun Shop, a proud sponsor of Rescue Ministries' annual Sharing Hope Radiothon broadcast live on this station December 15th. For the homeless in our community, hope often starts with safe shelter and a hot meal. I want to invite you to lead the way by being one of the first to make a gift of hope to this year's Radiothon. You can donate online right now at r3monline.org. And if you do so, we'll double your gift. Thank you for caring for your neighbors in need. And remember, need knows no season. God's blessings this holiday season.
Did you know there's a conservative advocacy and benefits organization with over 2 million members and counting? It's AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. Hi, this is Mary Walter. Here are 3 reasons why you should consider joining AMAC right now. First, AMAC saves you money, from discounts on travel and lodging, cell phones and plans, access to insurance products, and more. Joining AMAC is a powerful tool against inflation. Second, with a bi-monthly magazine, daily website content, podcasts with America's thought leaders, and an app that delivers insightful coverage of the issues that matter most. AMAC is a trusted source of information. And third, the reason that people say is their favorite is that AMAC fights for your conservative values on Capitol Hill. With more than 2 million members, AMAC is a voice that cannot be ignored, working tirelessly to preserve the freedom secured by our Constitution. Go to amac.us/liberty and join today. That's amac.us/liberty. amac.us/liberty.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you more of what you love, like premium travel benefits and access to Taylor Swift tickets. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. Plus, get access to Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, presented by Capital One. Maybe I'll see you there. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 32 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A Saginaw man has pleaded guilty to 2 hate crime charges for intimidating people from protesting for Black Lives Matter. 61-year-old Kenneth Pylan, a retired optometrist, admitted to calling 9 Starbucks stores and telling employees who answered to convey specific racial threats to other employees wearing Black Lives Matters t-shirts and threatening to kill Black people. He also pleaded guilty to leaving a noose inside of a protester's vehicle, along with a note which read, "An accessory to be worn with your BLM t-shirt." The case was investigated by the FBI. Pylan's sentencing is set for March 23rd. A Mayville teacher is under investigation for inappropriate behavior. The Mayville School District received several complaints about the teacher from parents. School officials say he was the physical education teacher who resigned last week following the complaints. The nature of the complaints have not been made available. The matter is being investigated by the Tuscola County Prosecutor's Office, Mayville Police Department, and Tuscola County Child Advocacy Center. 19 teachers and clubs in the Saginaw School District will receive $1,000 each from the Saginaw Public School Foundation. The funds are awarded to actively and directly involved students in creative and meaningful learning initiatives and projects not currently supported by school budgets. Recipients include students and teachers in Arthur Eddy, Arthur Hill, Jesse Loomis, Jesse Rouse, Hanley, Herrig, Sassa, the Saginaw Career Complex, Success Academy, and Zilwaukee schools. The foundation will present the funds at a special ceremony tonight at 5:30 at the Saginaw Board of Education building at 550 Millard Street. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
When we told growers that New Bear Premium Trivolt herbicide for corn delivers visibly clean fields for up to 8 weeks, they were a bit skeptical.
We'll see how it works.
So we decided to prove it. We set up cameras in multiple cornfields, treated them with Trivolt, and filmed for 24 hours a day. For 8 weeks, we saw a variety of weather conditions, and Trivolt worked. See for yourself at TrivoltInAction.com. Trivolt is a restricted use pesticide. Consult your state pesticide regulator for specific restrictions. Read and follow pesticide label directions.
I think farming picked me. I didn't pick farming. I'm not afraid to try something new. It's my farm, my family, and our future. My channel Seedsman gets that. I get access to innovative products with personalized advice backed by data to maximize my yield potential. With Channel, I know I'll prosper for years to come.
Define your future at channel.com/future. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices. Copyright 2022 Bayer Group. All rights reserved.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. The fate of a higher minimum wage in Michigan and the controversial legislative practice that has effectively delayed its implementation was the focus of legal arguments before a 3-judge Court of Appeals panel Tuesday. Attorney John Bursch, representing the state legislature, asked the panel to reverse a lower court order that found lawmakers should not have adopted and amended a ballot initiative that would have raised the minimum wage in Michigan to $13 an hour. On the other side of the legal argument was attorney Mark Brewer, who says the concept of adopt and amend circumvents the public's ability to create policy and should be deemed unconstitutional. Although the Court of Appeals panel will take the case under advisement, the adopt and amend issue is expected to eventually go before the Michigan Supreme Court. It's a possible game changer for energy production, fusion. For the first time, scientists in California have achieved a major breakthrough in the decades-long quest to harness the process that powers the sun. Dr. George Moshelli, physics professor at Lawrence Tech University in Southfield, says harnessing that power and producing it in a practical way could take decades.
The way science works is it doesn't go like really slow progress. It's like no progress until we finally understand something, and then there can be a big jump, right? A big leap in understanding. That's what everybody's hoping that this is. That there's this big leap in understanding, and we'll get the fusion part figured out, and now we can go on and start worrying about how do you design the power plant.
Michelli says the power would be completely clean, emitting no waste, only helium. Stellantis is recalling about 1.4 million pickup trucks worldwide because the tailgate may not close completely and cargo could spill onto the road. The recall covers Ram's 1,500, 2,500, and 3,500 pickups from 2019 to 2022. The company says that found that striker plates on the pickups may not be lined up correctly to allow for complete closure. Customers will be notified starting January 27th. In the meantime, Stellantis says owners should make sure they secure any cargo in the beds. WSGW News Time 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for today with temperatures holding rather steady. East winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, a chance for rain showers here late, cloudy, and temperatures still holding steady. By Thursday, chance for rain, cloudy skies, high of 43 degrees. Then by Friday, mostly cloudy, a high around 37. Saturday, a slight chance for snow late, mostly cloudy, high of 33. Then on Sunday, cloudy skies, a high around 33 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 31.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to Hour 2 of the Art Lewis Show, brought to you by Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Stop in, see their newly expanded showroom, and pick up all the products you need for home decorating at Westside Decorating Center. Later on, open phones, but for the first part of this hour, we're going to be talking to our special guest, Jennifer Contraras, Project Director of Health Equity Campaigns of Unidos US. We're going to talk about healthcare in the Latino community, and we say good morning to Jennifer. Good morning.
Good morning. It's Jeanette Contraras.
Jeanette. I'm sorry. I had Jennifer written down here. All right. Jeanette, before we get into the topic of healthcare in the Latino community, tell us a little bit about Unidos US. You there? Jeanette? Uh-oh. We lost Jeanette. Jeanette, I'm not sure where you are, but if you can hear me, call back. She disappeared. Here we go. Is this Jeanette? Are you back?
Yeah, so sorry. I am back.
Good.
My life happens that way really quickly. Sorry about that.
Short interview. Let me ask, before we get into the topic of healthcare in the Latino community, tell us about Unidos US, what the organization is about.
So Unidos US is the largest Latino civil rights advocacy group in the country. We have an affiliate network of nearly 280 community-based organizations. And many of our affiliates include federally qualified health centers, and we, are really a strong voice for the Latino community in the U.S.
All right, so we want to talk about healthcare in the Latino community. I'm going to make an assumption, you can correct me, that it's different from community to community. And what I mean by that is in communities like, for example, Saginaw, where we have a significant population of Latinos, many of them are UAW members, work for General Motors, and probably have superior, if not outstanding, health care. Other communities may not be so fortunate. Am I right?
That's right. Yeah, we have all kinds of working families. In fact, Latinos make up a large portion of our essential health workforce, that, work in where employers don't offer health insurance often. And so the health insurance marketplace is a great option for them.
If you looked at it overall, if we look at the quality of Latino healthcare in the United States, better, worse, the same as any other minority for that matter in the country?
Sadly, the state of healthcare coverage and access for Latinos is pretty dismal. So, recently the rate of uninsurance in the U.S. hit a historic low 8%, right? So it looks great for the rest of the country. But Latinos still make up nearly 30% of the overall remaining uninsured. And we have the second highest uninsured rate among other racial or ethnic groups. So, that's why we really appreciate the opportunity to come here today and share this information with you about, open enrollment for healthcare.gov and, access to health insurance in general.
Which begs the question, because it's not like there wasn't enough publicity on Obamacare and healthcare.gov. Why is it that the Latino community is apparently so far behind in signing up compared to other communities?
There is a real chilling effect in our immigrant community, to accessing public services because of things like, our immigrant families here, the lawfully present immigrants. They're afraid of accessing health insurance will make them, enact a public charge rule that, was in effect during the Trump era. So thankfully, President Biden ended that public charge rule. And so, I'd like to, really just take the opportunity to make sure that, our immigrant families know that they can sign up for health insurance through healthcare.gov or Medicaid without worrying about having any impact on their family's immigration status. They're also eligible for the tax credits. Basically, if you have an ITIN number or a Social Security number, you can apply for the financial assistance,
Right, but to get those numbers, you're here in the country legally, right?
Right,
you don't get the numbers if you're not. So,
right.
So basically, when we talk about the Latino community being far behind in signing up for insurance, we're not even talking about those crossing the border without authority. We're talking about those that are here legally, right?
Right. Yeah. They're eligible uninsured. So we have, astounding statistics. More than 6 million uninsured Latinos qualify for health programs but are not enrolled, and including 5 million who are eligible for free insurance through programs like Medicaid or the ACA Marketplace.
So I have to go back to my initial question of why. Is there not good communication within the community?
There is a lot of misinformation, right, in our communities. And that's, one thing we're trying to find. We love radio because we know that our communities really listen to that. And, it's a great way for us to reach our audience and to make sure that, particularly Spanish language radio, how to make them aware that, rules have changed. The public charge rule is no longer in effect. Applying for health insurance or enrolling in Medicaid doesn't count against you or on your immigration status, because lawfully present immigrants are, potentially going to be citizens one day, right?
We hope so.
Here, they've got their green cards, and that's why there's that, what we call the chilling effect in our community, that they're just really resistant to signing up for anything that might hurt their immigration status.
So what's being done within the communities to try and change that?
There's a wonderful program of enrollment assisters. It's a grantee program out of the Department of Health and Human Services that grants community-based organizations with like certified enrollment assistance, and helps them to stand up sort of like community-based assisters who come and are available to answer questions. And so I think that what's really effective is having those community-based organizations poised and ready to help with enrollment. And so there's a certified program. So you're going to go and talk to somebody about your personal financial situation. You want to make sure you're not just talking to anybody, right? So there's a program where you can find a certified enrollment assister who can walk you through, what are your options, and what really is the best option for you and your family.
And it's, in this day and age, it really is important, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry. Background noise here.
Somebody came and went.
Yeah, my cat.
No, is that right? It is important that that this message get out, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So we just know it's really complicated, right? To choose a health plan, even when it's open enrollment for us with employer-sponsored insurance. It can be complicated to make decisions. And so we're just trying to encourage people to go to the website. We know everybody's tech savvy. If you don't have a computer at home, you can use your phone and go on healthcare.gov and check out, the options. There's a price comparison tool where you put in your information about who's looking for coverage in your household, because maybe you have coverage, but your daughter doesn't, or your daughter does and you don't qualify. And so there are all these sort of like mixed situations, household situations, where you can still qualify for and can still look for, health insurance without committing to starting an application, right? So it's kind of a preview tool. So healthcare.gov has a lot of really great stuff. Again, because we know how complicated it is, if you'd like to reach out to someone in your local community, you can. And there's a website for that search function. It's localhelp.healthcare.gov. And so by going to that URL, you plug in your zip code or your city and state to find a local organization that's doing that.
And does
like open office hours, or you can set up an appointment to go in and talk to somebody.
And does Unidos US have a website?
We do. Yeah, you can find more information at unidosus.org. and you'll find it should be right on our homepage. Actually, our splash page should have information about open enrollment right now. Tomorrow, actually, December 15th is the deadline to enroll for coverage to start January 1st.
Right.
But the full open enrollment period is open until January 15th of next year. So we have one more month of open enrollment. The only caveat is that, after today, if you enroll, your coverage won't start till February 1.
Right. Well, listen, Jeanette, appreciate your time this morning, and we're happy to pass along the message.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being with us. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. That was Jeanette Contraras, Project Director of Health Equity Campaigns, Unidos US, on healthcare in the Latino community. We'll have open phones now for the remainder of the hour. 989-752-6111. The number to call.
Bonnie Sewing Center is having a huge holiday sale. Right now, you can get the very best prices on everything. Janome, Baby Lock, Husqvarna Viking, and Bernina. This includes top-of-the-line embroidery machines, sergers, long arms, and more. With every purchase, Bonnie Sewing Center is committed to offering you our award-winning customer service that includes unlimited free one-on-one lessons. Come sit and sew with us all day in our expanded classroom. We have staff on hand to help you. Bonnie Sewing Center on Wilder Road in Bay City, your one-stop sewing shop for over 38 years.
Bay City Bridge Partners is bringing you the same convenient route between home, work, school, and many of Bay City's best restaurants and attractions. It's Liberty Bridge, but better. With a smooth new deck surface, new more reliable bascule mechanics, electronics, and technology, saving you time and fuel costs, and adding another 75 years of life to help elevate and grow the Bay City community. Learn about the ease of electronic tolling and pre-register for a transponder account at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. If you're fixing for one of those meals where you need to wear a trash bag to eat it, then the Lumberjack Restaurant has the answers to your cravings. Try the Big Axe Burger. Double ground beef patty, bacon, mushrooms, onions, cheese, with a big old pile of pot roast and barbecue sauce on top that'll make you go, oh, wait! So get your axe up to the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch. Exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
How did hiring the right person become so difficult? Well, it doesn't have to be. Alpha Digital already has targeted databases built to very qualified candidates that are just looking for the right opportunity. That allows you to target exactly who you're trying to reach with a budget that is customized just for you. Learn about all the possibilities by going to alphamediadigital.com today. Find your next star employee with alphamediadigital.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open mixed, but little changed with the Federal Reserve wrapping up its meeting today. Investors are waiting for the Fed to reveal its decision on raising interest rates and its assessment of the economy. There's another sign inflation pressures may be cooling. The prices you pay for things from other countries, import prices, in November declined 0.6%. Delta Airlines shares are rallying. Delta says it's still seeing robust demand for air travel. The company says it's ahead of schedule on its 3-year recovery plan, and Delta has raised its earnings forecast for this year. Weber, the grill company, though, says sales fell again in its recent quarter. It continued to lose money. Weber recently agreed to be taken private. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Starting to realize your small business is a little overwhelmed by the holiday rush? It's still not too late to get all of your shipping and mailing under control with Stamps.com. Sign up right now, and you'll be printing your own postage in just minutes with discounted USPS and UPS shipping rates. Just go to Stamps.com, click the mic at the top of the page, and use code BUSINESS for a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. That's Stamps.com, code BUSINESS.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The WSGW Morning Team.
somebody is remaking Winnie the Pooh into a violent horror movie.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
It's called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh my!
Because the copyright ran out on Winnie the Pooh, and so now they can use the characterizations and such like that. And I guess the movie is coming out in February. Well, now Bambi. The same person who wrote, produced, and directed Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is also involved in a Bambi remake. The film will show Bambi as a vicious killing machine lurking in the wilderness. Subtitle of the movie says, "Prepare for Bambi on rabies." Bambi isn't happy that mom got killed.
Is Thumper the hitman or what?
Yeah.
The flower.
Well,
Flower is going to shoot him with a sting.
Actually, the film is going to be titled Bambi the Reckoning. First Winnie the Pooh, Bambi.
Let's face it, though, Piglet had it coming.
Well, apparently it's not our childhoods anymore.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, your morning team. 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we're back with you here in the studios of WSGW, the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, brought to you by Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street at Waunakee in Saginaw. And let's go to our phones. Carl is in Saginaw. Carl, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
You saw that the Artemis moon mission returned to Earth last weekend?
I did.
Yes, and apparently everything went well with the flight that I saw.
Yep.
And things are on schedule for the next, or maybe even a little ahead of schedule for the next launch, which I think is in 24.
I don't know when the next one is. It may be 24, late 20. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it's whatever it is, it's on schedule.
They're going to send a crew around the moon, a live crew around the moon, but not land on the moon. That'll be the next mission after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited that, this is happening. It all seems to be going well. So
I am too. And it's also something else. It's done by NASA through contractors, as opposed to independent companies. Now, I am not against the independent companies doing what they're doing, providing freight transport to the space station and things of that nature. But I do think that it's nice to see NASA taking a lead on one of these things, that this is a NASA project as opposed to an independent contractor project.
Yeah, I saw that. I think SpaceX just launched for the UAE, just launched a rover that's going to go to Mars.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I thought, well, that's interesting. That something like that happening.
Yeah, the Artemis 2, which is the next mission, the launch date, you are correct, it's May of 2024, a 10-day mission. It does not say there's a crew, but that doesn't mean, oh, here we go. Let's see what this one says.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there will be 4 astronauts aboard Artemis 2, 3 from NASA. 1 will be Canadian as part of an agreement with the Canadian Space Agency that's participating in the Artemis program. But they haven't announced who's going to fly on it yet.
Yeah, but they'll just fly around the moon and then come back.
Yeah, right.
On this next mission.
Yeah.
Which they're being careful, and that's okay.
Well, that's what they
I'm
did
sure
with.
They're learning a lot.
That's what they did with Apollo, and other missions. Yeah. They do it in stages.
Yes, and apparently they're going to rendezvous with the lander, which is going to be sent up separately, I guess. Well,
you're ahead of me on that. I haven't gone that far with it.
I believe that the lander that's going to go down to the surface, that's going to be sent on a separate rocket, and it's going to be in orbit around the moon waiting.
That's
in
cool.
2025.
Listen, nothing surprises me today. I mean, the most amazing thing to me today is to watch SpaceX recover their boosters landing on a platform the size of a dime in the ocean. To me, that's just unbelievable and tells you that the game has changed. The technology is so far advanced, and what we understand about it is so far advanced. It's absolutely mind-blowing.
Yes. And did you see this thing about cold fusion?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've
headlines?
known about that for a long time because we've been trying for decades to fuse rather than use fission. Because fission, of course, as we well know, makes byproducts and all of that. Fusion, the big advantage of fusion is it uses less energy than it produces, and is also clean. Your end product is helium, and that's it. It could revolutionize the way power plants operate, the way we power cars. I mean, it could revolutionize anything that requires energy, but it's a long way off. You know, this is the first time they've successfully demonstrated that they've used fusion to produce energy using less energy at the input side.
Yeah, although I remember at the beginning of nuclear power, they were making these claims about how electricity was going to be so cheap, they wouldn't be able to meter it, you know, but those things, those ideas didn't exactly pan out.
If, big if, because it didn't happen, obviously, if we had continued to build a passel of nuclear plants and the majority of our energy in this country came from nuclear, it probably would have been cheaper. I don't know to that degree of cheapness, but it would have been cheaper in the long run. However, there were way too many issues to be resolved, and that comes with fission. With fusion, you don't have those problems. So I would expect,
well, I hope so.
I would expect when they figure out how to use it on a wide scale, that energy prices will get cheaper because it takes less to produce more. On the other side of that coin, it takes more to produce less when you look at energy plants today. So I think that it's.
Did you see a picture of the building, the facility?
Oh yeah,
where they did this?
Yeah, but
I mean
But that's no different when they created fission. I mean, you know, it took huge cyclotrons and plants to create fission and learn how to use it. So this is just another step. I mean, you know, but I don't expect it to happen in my lifetime where it becomes practical. I expect the research to continue, but the practicality of it, I think that's going to take a while.
Yeah, but at least they've cracked.
They cracked the code.
You know how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
All right.
So, okay.
Have a good one.
Well, all right.
Take
Talk to you
care,
later,
Carl.
Art.
You bet. Bye-bye now. We'll take a break, come back. We'll get to Chris in Bay City when we return.
Get ready to take your corn yields to the max with superior genetics and next-level performance. These one-of-a-kind hybrids are derived from the latest, most superior corn genetics from one of the industry's largest corn breeding programs. Enjoy maximum season-long performance and premium seed protection for fast starts and outstanding early season growth with our exclusive MX Series corn by Stein. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle and filling your sleigh with $100,000. Come out for reindeer games every Friday in December from 6 to 10 p.m. Each hour, 2 players have the chance to pick a lucky reindeer and win up to $100,000 cash. Don't miss your chance at huge holiday winnings. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
'Tis the season for big savings on HP Tech at Staples. This week, save $100 on an HP Smart Tank 7301 refillable printer. The HP Smart Tank makes printing worry-free with up to 2 years of HP original ink included. From black and white docs to color prints, this wireless printer allows ultimate flexibility for busy families. And now save even more when you bundle an HP printer, PC, and monitor. The latest tech solutions are at Staples, the working and learning store. Offer good in-store and online. Ends 12/17.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for the start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you'll ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. For a brochure, send your address to me and I will forward the brochure to you. Send to artlewis@wsgw.com. That's ARTLEWIS at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday morning. And Chris is in Bay City. Chris, good morning to you.
Hello, Uncle Art.
Morning.
I just wanted to let Carol know you had a guy on the show the other day from Bay City.
Yeah, hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I got to ask you to pick up your phone. You sound like you're in a cave.
Oh, I'm in my kitchen. But anyway.
Yeah, well, you're on a speakerphone, right?
No.
That's better. Okay.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, that's much better.
Just to let you know, or Carol know, call a guy in Bay City. He might be able to help you with your clock radio.
Oh, the one-up games and repairs.
Yeah, the video game guy.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Good idea.
Well, just thought I'd throw that out there, that's all.
Yeah. No, listen, maybe he can. That's a great idea. Very good.
It might cost her more, but at least she would be able to keep her treasure if you can do something with it.
Yeah. It might not cost her that much either. Depends what's wrong with it. So, all right. That's a good idea.
Have a wonderful holiday.
Yep, you too, Chris. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now. If you missed it, Carol has a prized possession that she's had since the 60s. It's a little AM clock radio that she uses, and it's gotten noisy lately, not even when it's off. I mean, it's got a problem in it, and she was looking to either get it fixed or replaced. Can't find one like it, obviously. And there is a company, Carol, called One Up Games and Repair. They're in both Bay City and Saginaw, and they can handle all kinds of technical repairs. Maybe they can take a look at it for you. It's a great idea, Chris. Thanks for bringing it up. And let's say good morning to Jean in Bay City. Good morning,
that
Jean.
was quick.
Well,
Good morning.
we don't want to keep you waiting.
This being the religious time of the year, I didn't get a chance to call in when you were talking about the different religious things, so I'm calling today about that.
Sure.
In the Bible, at the very beginning, it says, God created man in his own image. Now, everybody knows about the Darwin's theory of evolution, and how animals and fish and birds and everything changed and evolved and became completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these two men, one's a PhD and the other's a researcher, they researched for 8 years all over the world, looking at pottery and tools that they dug up that were like over 3 million years old. And those were all, could only have been built by intelligent men. And a lot of the scientists that believe in Darwin's theory of evolution have found, Java Man and Lucy, these creatures that are ape-like but look a little bit in certain ways human.
Yeah.
And they have said, now that's proof that men were evolving from like monkeys and apes and all that foolishness. And but now these two men that did all this research, they found in a lot of museums and different places these bones, like a man's thigh bone from over 3 million years ago, that if you would put that on a table and then take a bone from a man's leg that died yesterday, the bones would be identical. And they wrote this 900 and some page book with all these facts from all these
So let me ask you a
museums
question. Let me ask you a question, Carol.
Okay.
And let's start with this premise, all right? Religion of any kind is a faith. You believe is a faith. You believe, your faith makes you believe in the Bible, correct?
Yes.
All right, and I'm with you. So I'm not talking against you here. I'm with you.
Yes.
However, here's the part that goes unanswered. How old is the earth? And the reason I say that is because, okay, if we took that man's bone from 3 million years ago and put it on a table next to a man from today, and maybe those bones are very, very similar, how long a period was there before that where there could have been some evolution?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And is evolution excluded from anything religious? Now, obviously, if you take the Bible at its word and God created man in his own image, then there are two questions. What was God's image? And what was man's image at the time of creation? And was there some kind of evolutionary process? Or do you take it at face value and man as we know man today was created by God in his image? This is why it's so fascinating on the one hand to talk about these things and talk about religion. And on the other side, it's impossible to talk about it because it is a matter of faith.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
You're a believer or not.
It is interesting.
Oh, yes.
Like I say, the original book was 900 pages. Now I have the condensed version, but I mean, they have 900 pages of proof that men have not changed, at least in the last 3 million
in the
years.
period of time they looked at. Yes, I understand.
And
It's fascinating.
To me, was a very interesting read. You know, anybody that's religious or not religious, it's interesting to find out about the things that happened way back then.
Absolutely.
You know. Well, thank you for listening.
Well,
and,
thank you for calling and all of that. And if I don't talk to you before Christmas, have a Merry
Christmas to you too.
Thanks.
And God bless you. And thank you so much for having your program. It means a lot to a lot of us.
Well, thank you, Gene. Appreciate it.
And so anyway, have a good afternoon.
You too. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Gene in Bay City. We thank her for that. It's an interesting conversation. It always is. But it's a no-win on any side because it's, the one side is totally based on faith. And there are many on the faith-based side that question the scientific side. So it's an argument that will never be solved one way or another. But it's an interesting one to talk about. A break, and then we will be back.
Thinking about some new outdoor furniture for this coming spring? Now is the time to buy and save during our annual end-of-the-year floor model sale now through December 23rd at Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center in Midland. Right now, you can save 20% on select Polywood and Alfresco Home floor model display sets in our store. New floor models are coming in soon, and we need to make some room. Choose from both dining and deep seating sets in many styles. Buy any Adirondack chair and get a free side table to go with it. Free winter storage and delivery on any item purchased during this sale until April 1st. Hurry in for best selection as sale ends December 22nd. Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, located 1.5 miles north of the Midland Mall on Eastman Road next to DW Auto in Midland. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon. Visit us on the web at www.maplehillmidland.com or like us on Facebook.
Spirit Band, Wednesday, December 14th, your Saginaw Spirit take on the Flint Firebirds in the next chapter of the I-75 Cup at the Dow Event Center with a puck dropping at 7:05 p.m. It's also Hometown Heroes Hockey Night. Kids want to dress up like superheroes? Got a chance to parade out on the ice. Plus, special tickets are available so you can help our own hometown heroes at the Can Council. And it's Saginaw Gears Throwback Night featuring special jerseys that will be auctioned off after the game and members of the Saginaw Gears Championship team.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
It's a new day because COVID vaccines just got a big update. So all the big stuff coming up this fall? Well, now you can say, you bet I'll be there. Because updated COVID vaccines protect against both the original COVID virus and Omicron. And everyone 5 and older can get one. So this is a moment we've all been waiting for.
Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. Prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Michigan football is on WSGW.
JJ fired towards the end zone, up and Colston Loveland's got it. Touchdown, Wolverines. Runs through a tackler to the goal line. Donovan Edwards, touchdown. JJ's got it, fires to the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Ronnie Bell in the back of the end zone. The Michigan Wolverines, back-to-back Big Ten championships.
The undefeated and back-to-back Big Ten champion Michigan Wolverines are back in the college football playoff semifinals, where they will face TCU in the Fiesta Bowl on December 31st. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. with kickoff at 4 on 790 News Radio WSGW. Michigan Championship Football is brought to you by Lingle Equipment Company, Schaefer and Beerline, Ram Truck in Frankenmuth, Zimomatic Irrigation Solutions, North Bloomfield Properties, and Wolf Isles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. Michigan faces TCU in the National Championship Semis, live December 31st at 3 p.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. The Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday morning. Yeah, you heard the promo for the Saginaw Spirit tonight, a hometown heroes game, and they'll be honoring the Saginaw Gears of the 70s with throwback jerseys. I will be auctioning those off at the conclusion of tonight's game against Flint. The spot also made reference, almost the same breadth, of Saginaw Gears players being there, but they're not for auction, folks. However, someone wants to buy Dennis DeRozier, I'd be happy to sell him to you. One of the great names, and of course, he is the color analyst with the Saginaw Spirits, working with Dylan Clark, presenting all the play-by-play action of the Saginaw Spirits. And Dennis is a good friend, and I kid him unmercifully, but many years ago, I had the pleasure of interviewing Doc Emmerich, one of the great hockey announcers of all time from, I think he's from NBC. And Doc used to be involved in the International Hockey League, the IHL, which was what the Saginaw Gears were part of. And there was a Port Huron team that Doc was involved in. And in talking to Doc Emmerich, I asked him, what do you remember about coming to Saginaw and playing in the barn here and all of that? And his answer was a stunner, because he didn't remember much about it. He remembered the barn a little bit, but the thing that stood out to him most was playing against Dennis DeRozier. He did not forget that name. And for those of you that don't know and aren't hockey fans or weren't around back then, Dennis was a leading figure of the Saginaw Gears hockey in the 70s. A very, very efficient goal scorer. But for every goal he scored, he spent a couple of minutes in the penalty box, because those were his two attributes. He was the enforcer. He scored a lot of goals, but he spent an enormous amount of time in the penalty box. And the way it worked back then, you talk to Dennis and he's got stories. I mean, Dennis could enthrall you for hours with his stories. But back then, if you played a team and that team went after one of your players, you normally didn't retaliate right then. The next time the team came to town, when they weren't expecting it, that's when you got your retaliation. And DeRozier was the most noted retaliator. He was the guy that took care of business on the ice. protected players. And he was a mean-looking cat, I got to tell you, with his pork chop sideburns and his Fu Manchu mustache. I mean, he was a mean-looking character you didn't want to mess with. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And one of the funniest, too. I mean, he really is just a neat individual. I treasure the relationship I have with Dennis, and he will be there tonight. And I'm sure be participating in one way or another. But they will have Saginaw Gears throwback jerseys wearing. The team will be wearing them tonight, and then we will auction them off at the end of the game. So we look forward to seeing you all there. All right. We're going to take our last break and then head on out. Head over to Focus this morning. We're going to focus on the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce with its president and CEO, Liz Conway. We will do that, but first, these notes.
Hi, this is Doug Williams with Dick Williams Gun Shop, a proud sponsor of Rescue Ministries' annual Sharing Hope Radiothon broadcast live on this station December 15th. For the homeless in our community, hope often starts with safe shelter and a hot meal. I want to invite you to lead the way by being one of the first to make a gift of hope to this year's Radiothon. You can donate online right now at r3monline.org. And if you do so, we'll double your gift. Thank you for caring for your neighbors in need. And remember, need knows no season. God's blessings this holiday season.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Moments like seeing my son's team cheer him on mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
All right, that'll wrap up this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate it. Tomorrow, it's the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan Radiothon here on WSGW, and that's how we'll be spending our time. We'll have a ton of guests for you. All of that coming up tomorrow. Coming up now, the news from CBS. That'll be the national and the international report. Michael Percha is in the WSGW newsroom. He'll bring you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then we will be back with Focus to focus on the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce with its president and CEO.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Steve Kathan. A storm with blizzard conditions is blasting the upper Midwest and plains. David Olson is with the Sheriff's Department in western South Dakota.
The number one concern today has been visibility. With wind speeds approaching 55 miles per hour and the light, airy nature of this snow, it is obscuring visibility extensively.
At least 2 deaths reported in the South after a string of destructive tornadoes. Steve Prater is a sheriff in the Shreveport, Louisiana area where homes were destroyed.
The total destruction. It was awesome, if there's not a better word for it. It's the power of a tornado like that.
In a few hours, Fed policymakers are expected to boost interest rates by a half point. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
All eyes today are on the Federal Reserve and what it might say about future rate hikes. The central bankers, led by Chairman Jerome Powell, obviously trying to walk a tightrope here, bring down inflation, but not push the country into a recession.
A new round of Russian attacks has left damage in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. It's believed that soon the U.S. could approve something Ukraine has been calling for, a Patriot missile battery.
The Patriot is the most sophisticated ground-based air defense system in America's arsenal, and in many ways the most advanced weapon system Washington has provided Ukraine in this war. It is a mobile system designed to intercept ballistic and cruise missiles at greater ranges than the weapons and air defense systems Kyiv currently has.
CBS News military analyst Jeff McCausland. The government says legal immigration has bounced back to pre-pandemic levels, with 500,000 permanent visas issued this year. CBS's Lilia Luciano is in El Paso, Texas, where a recent migrant surge has tested local officials.
It is dire, and authorities here are asking for federal help. They're asking for a federal shelter so that people are not sleeping on the street, in the airport, or in these bus terminals, and some assistance for the shelters that are really packed and have been for a while.
New details on the death of soccer journalist Grant Wall, who collapsed while covering the World Cup. His wife, Dr. Celine Gounder, on CBS Mornings.
He had an autopsy done here in New York by the New York City Medical Examiner's Office, and it showed that he had an aortic aneurysm. It's just one of these things that had been likely brewing for years, and for whatever reason, it happened at this point in time.
She says that ballooning blood vessel near the heart burst, and she writes on Wall's website, no amount of CPR or shocks would have saved him. Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 214 points. The NASDAQ is up 68. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 888-74-STEEL and get a quote today.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. If you're fixing for one of those meals where you need to wear a trash bag to eat it, then the Lumberjack Restaurant has the answers to your cravings. Try the Big Axe Burger. Double ground beef patty, bacon, mushrooms, onions, cheese, with a big old pile of pot roast and barbecue sauce on top that'll make you go, ooh, wait! So get your axe up to the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch. Exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Check out our 12 deals of Christmas going on right now at RocketGrabPlus.com. This deal is for 120 Fitness in Saginaw. You are going to get a year-long membership for only $171. It's usually $342, but you are getting it half off. Located at 118 South Hamilton Street, 120 Fitness is Old Town Saginaw's only gym. Call 989-401-1898 to set up your membership, and head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Moments like seeing my son's team cheer him on mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 33 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A 31-year-old man has died after a shooting Tuesday night at a Saginaw car wash. Police were called to the 2200 block of East Holland Avenue around 10:45 for a report of a shooting. Police say Delvin C. Green had been shot inside the car wash business, sustaining life-threatening injuries. He was taken to a local hospital where he died of his wounds. The investigation is ongoing and no suspects are currently in custody. Anyone with information is asked to call the Saginaw Major Case Unit at 989-578-2059 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-JAIL. Police in Oscoda County are looking for a man missing since last Friday. 86-year-old John Thomas Kitchen, known as Tom, was last seen around 3 p.m. driving a red 2007 Ford F-150 west on Bissonnet Road in Oscoda Township. Kitchen is white, 5'8" and 200 pounds with gray hair and brown eyes. His truck has a bed topper with the back window missing. The license plate number is 3LNG36. Police say he may have been at an Oscoda car dealership on Saturday around 10:30 a.m. He's on supplemental oxygen and must take heart medication daily. Anyone with information on Kitchen's whereabouts is asked to call the Oscoda Township Police Department. The first phase of Saginaw's home rehabilitation program continues as around 430 residents applied for a new furnace. City staff will review the applications to make sure they meet income qualifications and other criteria before being prioritized based on need. During a Monday evening's city council meeting, council approved $1 million to get residents new furnaces in the first phase of the $3.8 million program, which is funded through the American Rescue Plan Act. WSGW News Time 11:07.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A 26-year-old man accused of buying a gun in the fatal July shooting of a Detroit police officer faces up to 2 years in federal prison after pleading guilty in the case. Sheldon Avery Thomas pleaded guilty Monday to making a false statement in the acquisition of a firearm. The Detroit News reported that Thomas's guilty plea comes 5 months after he was charged with buying a pistol from an East Point gun dealer. Prosecutors say he bought the pistol for his 19-year-old friend, Amani Davis, who fatally shot Officer Lauren Kortz on July 6 during an ambush. Davis was then fatally shot by another officer. If you've seen any wild turkeys in Michigan, the DNR would like to know about it. Here's John Hewitt with this.
Once decimated by overhunting and deemed extinct in the state, the comeback of the wild turkey is one of Michigan's greatest wildlife conservation stories, according to the Department of Natural Resources. Today's Michigan turkeys are mostly descendants of birds trapped in Iowa, Missouri, and Pennsylvania, and now number around 200,000. Starting in January, the DNR is asking the public to collect and submit turkey observation information to help better promote turkey management in Michigan. If interested, you can learn more by visiting michigan.gov/DNR.
Efforts to transform the Escanaba Mill and the UP are advancing. That's after the Michigan Strategic Fund Board approved a request for a forest products processing renaissance zone for 15 years. The request is estimated to be almost $30 million. WLUC reports, according to a memo from the MEDC, the company is proposing to transform its Escanaba plant from producing paper to producing a more technologically advanced paper product known as paperboard or cartonboard. Without such a project, the plant would likely have closed because of market conditions. WSGW News Time 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for today with temperatures holding rather steady. East winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. And for tonight, a chance for rain showers here late, cloudy, and temperatures still holding steady. By Thursday, chance for rain, cloudy skies, high of 43 degrees. Then by Friday, mostly cloudy, a high around 37. Saturday, a slight chance for snow late, mostly cloudy, high of 33. Then on Sunday, cloudy skies, a high around 33 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 32.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And welcome to our Wednesday edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, easy, and affordable alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. You can find out more online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. And remember, RoofMax is spelled with 2 X's. Today, we're going to talk about a business organization in Mount Pleasant, and that is the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. And here to chat with us about it is the president and CEO. We say good morning to Liz Conway. Liz, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us. It's obvious to any of us in this region that the region now, the Great Lakes Bay region, has become a 4-county region that includes Isabella County and Mount Pleasant. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see as regionalization within the chamber community?
Oh, well, we have a number of partnerships throughout the entire region. And I think one that was most noticeable for me as a new chamber president is with the other Chamber of Commerce in our community. And so reaching out to Bay City, Saginaw, Midland, we do events together. And just they've been very helpful as I learn the role of the Chamber of Commerce. But also, you know, working with other groups, other partnerships. Partnerships are so key and critical in all that we do to help us make the larger impact on businesses. And they are not just here in Mount Pleasant, but they range across the Great Lakes Bay region.
So what is your background? Did you come in from the business world?
My background is in 501c3 nonprofits.
Ah.
Yeah.
So what led you to the Chamber of Commerce?
That's a great question. So earlier this year, there was an op-ed that came out in the Morning Sun, which is the newspaper here in Mount Pleasant, that talked about how our community has changed over the years and that people were concerned. And so there was a big buzz about it, and it got me thinking about what I could do to help. And I found myself having conversations with community members and leaders and just talking about what we can do for our community, which gave me the fire and the need to throw my hat into the ring for this position and for greater community impact.
So when you look at Mount Pleasant, particularly the Mount Pleasant business community that you're involved with, have there been a lot of changes?
Well, I mean, I think if you look, it depends on how far back you look at, right? I mean, certainly Mount Pleasant used to be really focused on oil and gas, and there was state jobs that were here. Enrollment has shifted at CMU. And so certainly there has been a change over the years. I think that we are unique in a way as well. A lot of our larger companies are nonprofit organizations or government agencies. And we are, like many, many other places, we rely heavily on our small businesses. They bring uniqueness and creativity to our community as well.
Does the fact that you have a major university sitting in your midst change the tenor of the town at all?
Well, CMU has been in Mount Pleasant for 130 years. Certainly Mount Pleasant and CMU it's a part of who we are. Absolutely.
So the business community, what's the health of the business community in Mount Pleasant?
That's a great question. I would say that, just like every other community that I've been talking to, there's certain challenges. Number one is workforce, talent retention and attraction. Number two has been cost with inflation. And number 3 is marketing. And so we found this information through a survey that we conducted to our members back in October.
And the steps you take now to address those, what happens?
It's a great question. So actually, we are working on our first strategic plan in some time, but taking a look at how we can better meet the needs of our businesses. One of the things that we're doing, looking at workforce, is expanding our partnerships with education here in our community, taking a look at intern programs. How can we make sure that the process is easy for our members to get an intern student? Are we, looking at all the options with MID and CMU and the RESD, for example?
So let me ask this. How different is it running a chamber from being an executive of a nonprofit?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the thing that really has been very, very interesting and intriguing to me is the status. A 501c6 organization, a membership organization, is entirely different than a 501c3. Both mission driven, which is fantastic, right? But I think that I have a lot to learn in the membership organization arena. I have been immersing myself in books and articles, and I've been trying to meet with peers across the state and nation, frankly, to learn more about what a membership organization is doing to stay relevant. And so I'm just really diving in and trying to learn more, listening to our members, asking questions, and just trying to learn more about membership organizations.
Well, I would have to believe, knowing the players around here in the various chambers, that you can get a lot of help.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great community, and there's all sorts of resources. I think the really interesting thing is that no two chambers are the same.
Yeah. All right, hang on. I got to take a break, Liz, and we will be back. We're talking to Liz Conway. She is the president and CEO of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. Let me ask how you slept last night. Today's workers are asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And by the way, they feature a 1-hour delivery window of your mattress to your home. Now, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport, or visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com, or call them at 989-753-1757.
There's probably no one that has ever said, I wish I wouldn't have started hospice this soon. You call the Wellspring office and you say, hey, I want to talk to someone about this because I don't even know if this is something for us or not. And they will talk to you, because the biggest thing that they will be is honest. They gave us a booklet that talked about the stages. The kid who I least thought would read the booklet read it and was like, I'm really glad I know what's going to happen, whenever that is.
For more information on hospice, visit wellspringlutheran.com.
Bay City Bridge Partners is bringing you the same convenient route between home, work, school, and many of Bay City's best restaurants and attractions. It's Liberty Bridge, but better. With a smooth new deck surface, new more reliable bascule mechanics, electronics, and technology, saving you time and fuel costs, and adding another 75 years of life to help elevate and grow the Bay City community. Learn about the ease of electronic tolling and pre-register for a transponder account at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
You have the chance to win your mortgage or rent paid for in 2023 up to $18,000. It's the WSGW Home for the Holidays contest presented by Dow Credit Union. Enter online at WSGW.com. Look for the Home for the Holidays box. You can enter once per day with bonus entries too. Entry deadline December 21st. Home for the Holidays presented by Dow Credit Union. Enter online, WSGW.com. From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Our guest is Liz Conway, President, CEO of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. So, Liz, are there any activities or chamber events we should know about coming up?
At the Chamber of Commerce. Our big annual awards banquet is March 4th. And we have more information on our website about that, but we are looking for nominations currently for a number of different awards. Our Citizen of the Year. This is the 66th year that the Mount Pleasant Area Chamber has put this on. So that's number one, but we have a number of changes coming in store for 2023. We have a new breakfast called Daybreak Mount Pleasant, which will be quarterly. We are doing more roundtables. We are just kind of working on providing our members what they are seeking.
So if someone has a business in the Mount Pleasant area and is interested in chamber membership, where should they go for that information?
Our website would probably be the best place to go, or just by typing in Mount Pleasant Area Chamber of Commerce. But our website is mt-pleasant.net.
mt-pleasant.net.
Mm-hmm.
And if they wanted to contact you directly?
They can give us a call, 989-772-2396.
How big is the membership?
We have about 450 members here in Mount Pleasant.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now, is it just in the city or is it regional? Is it the whole
We
county, Isabella?
We are the Mount Pleasant area. Is what we're called. So it's not just the city. There's, Shepherd is close by, and we have businesses that extend from Mount Pleasant in a radius.
Yeah, quite a ways.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a ways, I would imagine.
That's right.
Well, first of all, we really appreciate your calling. It's glad to have Mount Pleasant in our midst. It's an important community for the Great Lakes Bay region.
Yeah, thank you.
And we wish you well as your presidency and CEO progresses.
Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate that. I hope to hear from some of your listeners.
All right. And hope to hear from you again.
Okay. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Liz Conway. She is the president CEO of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. And we thank her for joining us this morning here on WSGW. We will take a break and come back. And when we come back, we'll find out what's happening in the marketplaces here on WSGW, where it is now 11:24.
Retirement is more than a newly discovered free time. It's a time to reflect on how you'll be remembered and your legacy. It's important to make proper arrangements now. Tune in to WSGW every Sunday at 8 a.m. to your Financial Empower Hour with Jason and Carl Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment Advisors in Midland. Learn how to structure your retirement savings to increase the value of your estate and help leave the legacy you want. Plus, call Great Lakes Investment Advisors today and they will include a complimentary Legacy Maximizer at 989-835-7203. That's 989-835-7203. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
'Tis the season for big savings on HP Tech at Staples. This week, save $100 on an HP Smart Tank 7301 refillable printer. The HP Smart Tank makes printing worry-free with up to 2 years of HP original ink included. From black and white docs to color prints, this wireless printer allows ultimate flexibility for busy families. And now save even more when you bundle an HP printer, PC, and monitor. The latest tech solutions are at Staples, the working and learning store. Offer good in-store and online. Ends 12/17.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for the start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you'll ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. For a brochure, send your address to me and I will forward the brochure to you. Send to artlewis@wsgw.com. That's ARTLEWIS at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling.
The WSGW Morning Team.
You got Taste Left in My Mouth by Scrooge O'Reilly.
I heard that.
Bill O'Reilly's commentary this morning was basically saying, it's Christmas and it's too early. Bah, humbug.
Turn off those Christmas movies and turn off that Christmas music until after the 15th.
Cold in the stocking for Bill O'Reilly.
Man.
Sometimes Christmas can seem a little shoved or early, but
early, especially when you hear some music on November the 1st. When he was talking about movies, I have to agree with him on this one that my favorite Christmas Carol movie is the one with Alistair Sim. But he said that's the best Christmas movie, and it's not. We all know that It's a Wonderful Life, followed closely by Die Hard. I'm just
I was
saying.
thinking the Muppets. I love the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Wouldn't that be an interesting double feature with Pat and Denise?
Sure.
Watch Die Hard and the Muppets Christmas Carol.
It's too bad Bruce Willis and the Muppets never got together.
Oh my gosh, that would have been great. The Muppets Die Hard Christmas Carol.
Your morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for Focus today. Focus brought to you by RoofMax. Get roofmax.com. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. Time to head over to Baird & Company for our ticket tip of the day, and that is where we find Steve Anderson. Good morning, Steve.
And good morning, Art. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hope you are. How's the market doing?
I am. And guess what? The market is doing quite well midweek. I think you should be at least moderately pleased. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is ahead by 233 points, putting it at 34,345 on volume of 240 million shares. NASDAQ's ahead by 75 at 11,333, and that's up on 301 million shares.
All right. And your ticker tip for the day?
I'm going to do that year-end reminder yet again. This has been a very, very odd year for the market, if odd equals bad. However, early in the year, there were still some rather princely gains on various investments that were carrying over from the year before. So if you had any mutual funds, they may have